Now, we hear the word racism a lot, but racism is a symptom, not a source. It's the effect, it's not the cause. It is the manifestation of evil, but it is not the root of evil. We hear about racism every day as if it is the reason for all conflicts in our country. But folks, America doesn't have a skin problem. We have a sin problem. And racism is based on a satanic lie of the real essence of all sin, which is pride. The notion that some people think they're just better than others. And when one thinks he or she is better, then that person believes they shouldn't have to be held to the same standards. Political division, it's also fueled by pride. Those who believe that their ideas and their policies and the people they support are just better. The result is that different standards are applied. The reason that Rosa Parks was told to sit in the back of the bus was at the arrogant pride of some people who didn't think she was as good as they were. The reason that a teenager named Clarence Henderson risked his life to sit at the lunch counter at a Woolworth in North Carolina was because some people didn't think he deserved to be seated at the same lunch counter because they didn't think he was as good as they were. The reason that 9 young high school students had to be escorted by the National Guard and the U.S. Army to Little Rock Central High School in 1957 was due to some in the community not believing that those kids were as smart and as capable as their kids were. All of those things were racist, sure. They were all evil and sinful, but all were because of the real sin of pride. It showed itself as racism, but it was rooted in pride. Whenever there's a double standard, it's the same root sin as is racism. I mean, if the governor of California orders the citizens there to wear a mask in public, but he takes his mask off at a football game, it's his pride in thinking that he's just better than you. If members of Congress demand to get the transcript of a phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine, and they actually impeach the president because of what was said in the call, but then those very same members of Congress don't demand public disclosure of a phone call between President Biden and the president of Ukraine this past week. Well, why? It's because they just believe their side is better than your side. If a podcast host like Joe Rogan gets crucified for allowing highly competent scientists to say that lockdowns and masks don't really work, and then he gets called out for spewing medical misinformation, even after the CDC releases a report that actually says the same thing Joe Rogan did. It's not misinformation that people are going crazy over. They just think the people they listen to are better than the people that you listen to. If protesters in many major cities burn police stations, loot and firebomb private businesses, and beat up innocent people on the streets, some politicians will defend them as mostly peaceful. But when protesters go to the U.S. Capitol and protest, they're insurrectionists, and they're doing more harm than 9/11, Pearl Harbor, or the Civil War. Now, they really aren't that crazy to believe that. They just think that the protesters they support are better than those they don't. If Hillary, Joe Biden, Stacey Abrams, and others can question the integrity of an election and claim that it was rigged, but somehow Donald Trump is permanently banned from Twitter and Facebook for saying the same thing, it's just another example of the arrogant pride that some folks think their armpits don't stink, but they think yours do. Honestly, I think everybody's does, okay? Well, like racism, it's a symptom of deadly and dangerous pride. It's not political, it's a spiritual sickness. But we will never correct it if we misdiagnose it and fail to see it for what it really is. Selfish arrogance of pride that's willing to put a different standard on you than on themselves because they really do believe they are better than you. Now, if you're seeing this, I know you've enjoyed that video. I mean, how could you not, after all? So you know what you should do? Leave a like, click on the subscribe button below, and hit the notification bell next to it so you'll always know when I have another video up for you to enjoy.